Hey guys, what's going on? I was gonna take my glasses off, but the sun is hitting a little bit hard. I wanted to share something with you guys. It's your girl Tally, of course. And yesterday I went out with some friends. Really, it's just a friend, and she brought her other friends. And we had a very nice time. We went to brunch, but it's like more of a brunch party. So there's music, it's a lot of people, there's unlimited food, unlimited mimosas. So it was really a great time, all in all, for real, for real. And I've been wanting to go out because I feel like I'd be cooped up in the house a lot, not going out, not experiencing life, and having that work-life balance is very important to me. So because of that, I've been a little bit outside. With that being said, I wanted to share with you all some things that I did learn and notice and realize with the experience that I did have while I was there. So as many of you may know, your girl right now, me, I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not eating sugar. And when I mean sugar, I mean like candy, sweets, stuff like that. But I do eat fruit like blueberries and things because I've heard blueberries and berries in general have great health benefits and such. So I'm not eating sugar, and there's actually a long list of things that I'm refraining from in order to practice just more self-control in almost every area of my life. And this journey, I have a video coming about that. This journey is amazing. I recommend it. It's one of the best things I've ever done just in life, having that self-control over yourself, being able to control different things, being able to overcome certain vices or all your vices. There's no better, I have to stop saying that, but that journey is an amazing journey, and I recommend. So as I said, yesterday I was at brunch hanging out. I had a lot of fun. However, you would think that because I'm in that environment and I'm having so much fun and everybody around me is turning up, dancing, having that fun, and drinking, that I would succumb to all of that, my surroundings, and end up drinking as well. But at this point in my life, I have made my decision, and I'm very sound in my decision, that I have these goals that I choose to put ahead of everything else. So even though I do want to go out and have fun with friends, and I feel like I'm young and I should do that, even though that's happening, there's still goals that I'm working toward and that are way more important to me. And I realize that when I wake up in the morning, when I do wake up in the morning, feeling good about myself and my choices and what I did that was pleasing to God, those are the things that matter to me the most. So no matter what I do, those three things is what I put it. Well, basically two things is what I put ahead of everything. Me feeling good about myself, me pleasing God, but I also put my choices. But me making the right choices, those are the things that make me feel better about myself. And for those of you who struggle in that area, feeling better about yourself, feeling more confident, it's because I'm not sure if it's 100%, but I'm telling you right now, you start making choices in your life. Stop worrying about what other people are going to say. Stop worrying about what they think. This is just a side note. This is not what this video is about. But stop worrying about what people are going to say. Stop worrying about who's not going to agree with you. Stop worrying about what people think. And you start making some real deal choices in your life for the better. Because there's good choices and there's bad choices. There's healthy choices, there's unhealthy choices. So you start making healthy choices. You start making choices that please God. You start making choices that are good. You're going to wake up in the morning and begin every day. And as soon as it's going to be one on top of the other. You start waking up and you're going to start feeling better about yourself. You're going to start being more confident. You're going to feel that you respect yourself more. When you respect yourself more, you're going to love yourself more. You're going to choose you. You're going to be committed to a journey of self-betterment, a journey of just being better, being your best self, the journey that I always talk about with you all. So that's that side note right there. Keep that in mind. But as I was saying, I'm going out, I'm having fun, but I'm still choosing not to drink, not to smoke. Of course, I'm not tempted to smoke because I haven't smoked. I haven't been a smoker in a long time, but but people are smoking around me. That's just the fact of the matter. I choose not to smoke. Also, again, with food, there's unlimited food, and I'm telling you right now, it's good food. It's French toast, it's waffles, it's a whole bunch of fruit, fried chicken. It's really good food because we pay like $60 to get into that brunch, okay? So of course they got to serve us some good food. It was good food, biscuits and gravy, a whole bunch of food, a whole bunch of sweets and everything. And even in the midst of all of that, I chose not to indulge in any of that. I chose not to eat any sweets. I chose not to eat any carbs. None of that. And I know some people are like, what? Like, that's not enjoying life. I'm telling you right now, when you wake up in the morning, maybe in the moments like, oh, I'm not enjoying these things that look so nice. But when you wake up in the morning, and this is probably a part of this video because I'm going to talk to you I'm talking to you about standards and morals. So this all applies. When you have certain standards for your life, and the way I drink or do not drink, or the way I choose not to smoke, and the way I choose to eat, that's all a part of my standards. But there's more to it. So when you wake up in the morning and you realize in the midst of all those treats, all that good food, you chose to still eat right and do right by yourself and do right by your goals and what you said you were going to do, that's the feeling you want. Wake up in the morning with no regret, basically feeling bad about yourself because you were unable to withstand the pressure, or let's say the temptation of seeing everything around you in your environment and not being consumed by it. It actually makes you feel way better. So you're sacrificing short-term gratification for long-term satisfaction. I highly recommend. 10 out of 10 recommended, because this I'm telling you right now in this moment, I'm not missing any of that food. I'm not thinking about none of that food like, oh my God, I should have ate this, I should have tried this. Actually, number one, there's no food that I haven't really tried. There's no sweets. Like, of course, like in actuality, of course, there's sweets and food in this life that I haven't tried. But for real, like you guys get what I'm saying. There's really nothing that you haven't really tried. Like you know what sweets taste like. You know the different flavors. You know what fried chicken, waffles, French toast. All know what that stuff tastes like. So there's nothing in this moment I'm thinking back right now, oh my God, I should have tried it. The only thing I have in this moment is I am so proud of myself that I was able to, it wasn't even any temptation, but I was able to make the right decision in the moment. That's what you're going to be proud of. And that's what counts the most. That's what matters the most. And that's what produces longevity, long-term satisfaction in your life. Making the right decisions in the moment. And to continue. So, here's the thing. This is a tough subject. I have no problem with turning up. I don't have no problem with having fun. A party, I love a party. Anybody who knows me, especially in my past life, I have no problem with a party. Okay, I love a party. That's me. That's a part of my personality. I don't think that's going anywhere. However, what I've noticed in that party is there were many women, men too, but come on, many women, they chose to wear certain outfits that some of the outfits flattered them, some of them, the outfits did not, but the outfits were very scantily clad. And what I mean is very revealing outfits, okay? And I'm not exactly the one to talk because I do wear like a bra and shorts, stuff like that to the gym. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not perfect in that area either. But one thing I'm working on, I want to wear things that fit my body right, that make me actually look good. I'm not gonna wear it because I saw it on a Fashion Nova model. I'm gonna wear it because it actually makes me look good. So that's important to me. Before I wasn't like that. I used to just throw everything on and I felt like I should wear it because it looked good on somebody else. No, you can't be like that. You gotta wear what makes you look good, what's good for your body shape, because that's gonna make you look good. It's gonna make you feel good overall. So I noticed there's women, they're wearing whatever they want to wear. Some of it's flattering to their shape, some of it's not. But either way, at the end of the day, it's very revealing. Showing everything, showing too much, basically. That's one. Two, the way that certain people choose to dance. Like I said, I love dancing. Okay, I'm even hating a little bit right now because I wish I had more meat on my gluteus maximus that jiggles more, right? But unfortunately, even in this weight loss situation, I don't have that much jiggle, okay? Because I be twerking a little bit. I do a little something. But there's a difference between a little something, ladies, and you just letting it all out. First of all, it's all hanging out. It's all hanging out because you wore something that let it all hang out. Secondly, you are shaking. You are, what your grandma said, gyrating. You are on the floor. Your legs are spread. You busting it open. You're in a 4-point handstand. So like your hands are on the floor. You're on the table. You just throwing it everywhere. You standing on the table. You throwing it everywhere. And I am one to stand on the table. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one to stand on the table. Not exactly twerk, but I'm a stand on the table type of person when I'm feeling it, especially in the days that I used to drink. But even with all of that, and I don't want to be offensive because even the people I was with, they were standing on the table and they were doing some of this and they were dressed a certain way too. And I don't want to be like this, but I just have to say it. You understand? Like regardless of who it might offend, I have to say it. So dancing, however, dress whatever, dress kind of crazy, not kind of crazy, dress crazy. Your thong showing, your booty out, your breasts out, that's crazy. Dancing crazy, like we could see your whole everything. We could see up everything, because you're bent over to the max. You're on that table and you're bent over, so you're high up like on the table, and then I'm seeing under everything. I'm seeing every piece of cellulite that you inherited from your mama. I'm seeing everything. There's nothing to the imagination, babes. And this is how we're choosing to act. Some of us are choosing to act. Not only that, then on top of everything, because the only reason you dancing like that and you have all this courage to be on top of the table doing that is because you're drinking too much. Now, there's nothing wrong with a drink. Even though I'm not drinking, there's nothing wrong with a drink. But you're drinking, you're overdoing it. And you're a lady. I don't mean to sound judgmental, but we're ladies. And you dress like that, you're dancing like that, you're putting yourself at risk. Thank God your friends are there, if they're real friends to you, to get you home properly. Because if your friends are not there to get you home, what would you do? You're still, no matter what, your friend's there, your friend's not there, you're putting yourself in harm's way. So you're over drinking, you're getting crazy drunk. Some are even smoking weed, so you're cross-faded, which means that you're drunk and you're high at the same time, which just makes the drunkenness, the highness, like 10 times more hard. 10 times, it goes 10 times more when you're drunk and you're high. I know this because that used to be me. It used to be me. So don't feel like I'm judging. I don't want to say don't feel like I'm judging, because everybody judges. You judge every situation. You judge what you're going to wear every morning. You judge what shoes you're going to put on. You make choices. Judgment is just making a choice. But what I'm saying is, ladies, with all that being said, be careful. Be careful, because I told you guys this before. Like, it really should be about you and how you see yourself and how you want to show yourself in this world and how you show up and how you want to project yourself to this world. Like, if you come from healthy beginnings, or if you unlearn unhealthy things and you're now beginning to learn more healthy things, and you're beginning to find things that increase your self-esteem and make you love yourself. You found God and you realize how much God loves you and stuff like that. Like, when you start to do those certain things, you're gonna be more careful about how you are showing up in this world. And it's not about what people think, but it's about the perception that you want to give off about yourself. You're going to be way more careful about that, because in our hearts of hearts, if a woman is not extremely damaged, because even damaged women want to be respected and loved, and we want to be respected and loved, point blank period. Even damaged women want that for themselves, right? But so you have to be careful, because if you're showing up in this world in that way, you're wearing clothes that all the time, you're wearing clothes all the time and everywhere that you're just seeking attention, and it's gonna bring you that attention because you know exactly what you're doing, and you're also dancing a certain way that's very, very, very provocative, and it's way past provocative. It's a porn. It's almost like, it's like a porn if you're dancing like that, and then you're over drinking, or you're drinking in general, and you're getting drunk, and then you're getting high. Someone who respects and loves themselves is not gonna portray themselves like that. I'm telling you, as I know it, you're going to be way more careful of how you portray yourself when you realize your value, when you realize your worth, when you realize your potential, like what you could become. Because if you ever were to become something more important in your life, you would never want videos and pictures of that to see the light of day. And I can't believe I'm saying this out of my mouth, and I'm telling you guys this because I used to be the same way, and I never thought there would be a time where I would want to advance myself in a way and I would care about the perception. Like, you can't do 100%, you can't do everything about the way people perceive you. You can't control what people think, but you can control what you're putting out there to the world. So it's very important for us as young ladies. They're already looking for anything to blame women about. They're already saying that we're not good enough. They're already saying that we're not worth it. They're already saying that we're not marriage material, that we all are promiscuous, that we're all cheating. They're already saying so much terrible things about us. So if there's a remnant, which means there's some of us, because I know a lot of people are not going to understand this. I know this is not going to be all of us who want to do different and portray ourselves differently. I understand that, because if you know the way this world is going and the way of this world, you know it's only going to get worse anyway. But for those of us who we care about that, or some of us, maybe we're in that type of lifestyle where we're doing all that stuff, but we see that there's something wrong with this. For those of us, we have to get it together, and we have to realize that it's okay to have fun, it's okay to turn up, but there's certain things, like if you value yourself, if you value your reputation, if you want to be treated with respect by this world, it's not going to change. And let me tell you something about men, because lately, every time I go somewhere, there's a man who reminds me of something. And what it is that men are, even though times has changed, technology, so many things has changed, I always tell you that the double standard that men have in their mind about women, and please don't tell me, oh, I don't care what men think. Please don't go that way with me. Oh, I don't care what men think. I don't care this, that. Because if you're a woman who's heterosexual, you're gonna want a man eventually. You may not want a man now. You may be in your phases. You may it may be, you may want to be single now. Whatever it is, it may not be for you right now, but eventually you're gonna want a man to respect, care, and love you. And you're making it difficult for you and other women when you're not showing up as something that demands respect and demands honor. Now, me, I always say that no matter what, if you're a respectful person, you're going to respect people. If you're a loving person, you're going to love others regardless of their behavior and how they act. But I'm saying for you personally, if you want a man who is going to respect and love you, the first thing we have to do is understand how we showing up in this world, and understand what we need to do to make sure that we are showing up as our best self, because people are going to treat you no matter what. I can't change it. I can't change no double standards. These double standards have been around since we've been alive, since before we've been alive, since the beginning of time. So you're not going to change them, and I am not going to change them either. I wish I could for you, boo. I wish I could, but we can't. So the only thing we have to do is be aware of them, and I'm not going to say adhere to them, but we're going to have to play with it. We're going to have to play with it so it can work in our favor. And the only way to do that is for you to show up as somebody who you're showing the world that you deserve, that you treat yourself, number one, with love and respect. So that means you are deserving of love and respect. And as I was saying about the men, every time I go to a spot, there's a man who he's not even a Christian. He's not even doing the right thing. He's in there turning up too. He's in there drinking too. And he says something that reminds me that men have a double standard in their mind about how women are supposed to act. And we are not going to change that. A man could be drinking alongside of you, smoking alongside of you, doing the wrong thing right alongside of you. And I'm not saying drinking is bad. I'm just saying, like getting drunk. What I'm saying is he could be getting drunk, he could be smoking weed, whatever. He could be robbing people. I'm literally, this is the truth. He can be a scammer. He can be doing a criminal in any way, and he will still look at you as a woman and judge you harder than he judges himself for what he does. Because I believe that this is just the way that God made it. God made it. He said in the Bible that women are a man's glory. So if you're someone's glory, they're going to put you on a pedestal. So that means they already have an idea, whether it be false or not. They have an idea in their head how a woman's supposed to be, how a woman's supposed to act. She's supposed to be classy. She's supposed to be something to be respected. She's supposed to be honored. So when you act outside of what men already think, it's already like coded in them. It's just something that's already downloaded in men. So when you act outside of that, you will be on the losing end of that battle. You will be seen as something that doesn't deserve respect. For some men, you have to give them something to respect regardless. So if you're showing up, if you haven't developed yourself to the point where you care about how you're portraying yourself, then it's going to trigger something in certain men's brains, and even all men's brains, but certain people are going to act on it. Certain men are going to act on that. Certain men are not, but it's going to trigger something in a man's brain, because men either are provider or they either provide for you, or they make you a prey, or they prey on you. Either they provide for you or they prey on you. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you're acting like something that is not worthy of respect, if you're acting like something that you're showing up in the world, you're not showing up as your best self, you're doing things, very provocative things, you're doing things that are not respectful to you, then you turn into a prey. That's what I'm gonna say. Men are they either provider or predator. So you turn into either a prey, or you turn into somebody that they're not going to even recognize. Because as I said, women, they have an idea of how women are supposed to be. And if you're a woman at the end of the day and you want to find someone for you who can love and respect you, there's a way that you need to show up. And there's a way that you need to treat yourself so you can show to somebody else, anybody else, whether that's a man or woman, that there's a way that you need to be treated. And there's a standard in your life. There's a moral in your life. You have morals in your life. And I said all of that to say, I didn't want to make it about me. But as I was there, and I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, a lot of men were attracted to me. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not saying this to brag, and I'm not saying trying to seem like, oh, I'm that girl. No, I'm not trying to tell you that. I said all I had to say in general. But personally, in my experience, there's a lot of men, even though they were drinking themselves, even though they were smoking themselves. And for me, it's like, if you smoke anything, I'm not attracted to you. I'm not talking to you. If you're getting drunk, blackout drunk, I'm not attracted to you. I'm not talking to you. But if you could handle your liquor and you're not over drinking, that's fine with me. If it's ever a problem, then it's going to be a problem. But I'm not immediately disqualifying a man who drinks, because I don't think that drinking is a problem until you make it. But all I'm saying is, like, for me, I noticed that more men were attracted to me, especially when they found out that I wasn't drinking. This clicked something in their head, and I'm telling you, and there was this guy specifically, and I'll tell you twice. There's 2 separate guys that I encountered, and that I keep telling you, I'm encountering guys that they remind me that men really do think the same. And even though the evolution we've been through, there's still very much a lot of similarities in men. And here it goes. So yesterday specifically, as this guy he just kept really bothering me. He really just kept bothering me. And I felt like he didn't know how to talk to women like that, because he was like nice, nasty, that sarcastic type dude. And I really had to get him together. Like, stop being mean to me. I guess you like me. Like, I really had to get him together. And what he says is, he's like, oh, you're saying I'm mean, but you don't even know me. Oh, I don't know you either. This is not the type of environment that I would assume that anybody would be a wife here. You see all these girls twerking and drinking going on. You see that? This man is in the same environment we are in. He's drinking just as much as everybody else. He's not over. I don't know if he probably was overdoing it, but he's drinking. And he's still judging other women and saying that these women are not wifey materials. This is not the spot I would expect someone who's wifey material to be in. That's the first indication for me. Well, the second, really, that no matter what guys do, and I've seen this many times over and over again by guys who they would be probably considered bottom of the barrel, like no job, smoke weed all day, don't really have nothing going on for themselves, guys like that, and they still hear that women do certain things and they judge those women so harshly. And I'm not saying those are the guys that you should go for, because if a man not doing nothing with himself, it's not a man that you should go for. But if those men who would be considered bottom, they're not really nothing, if they're judging women hard like that, and they do the same things and worse that women do, what a guy who has mastered his self-control, a guy who is working on himself, who's doing better for himself, and he knows that there's many guys not doing the same things that he's doing. Like, there's many men out there that are not challenging themselves to be better, so they know that they're almost one of a kind. They know that there's something special about them. They know that women would want men like them. Those men, don't you think that they're judging women even more harshly? I'm not saying 100% of them, but a good majority of them, if not 90, I would be like 99% of them, because if they're doing the work, to be better, when there are other men around them, men are not even doing that work, and they're still getting the benefits, and they're not doing the work. Don't you think men like that who are actually doing the work are gonna judge you even more harshly? And the men who are doing the work, those are more closely to the men that you would want. You want a man who is working on himself. He wants to be more of a provider. He wants to take care of his home. He wants to be a husband. He wants to have kids. He wants to be a good father. Those are the men you want. So if those men are holding themselves to a higher standard, what kind of standard do you think they're going to hold you to, when men who are not holding themselves to that standard are still holding you to a higher standard? So just think about that. The guy at the party, that's what he said to me. And he was like, what he said again, he's like, oh, you don't smoke, you don't drink, that's really what attracts me to you. That's what he said to me. So that was a second indicator. And the first indication was when my homegirl came down from New York. she met, there's a friend that she knew back in the day. We met him, we just found him, right? And we were like, okay, like we found him out of nowhere, and we just started hanging out with him and his friend that was there too. And what he said is, he's like, I don't know what we were talking about, but I just remembered like verbatim what he said. He was like, do you think that men are out here looking for wives? Like, why are you here on a Sunday night? He's there on a Sunday night, and he is judging women for being there on a Sunday night. And then I'm like, so where do you find good women? Let me tell you, this man says church. This man don't even go to church, I bet. And the way he speak, he cursing every other sentence. He's a good guy. He was a very cool guy, very nice guy. He seemed like a good guy in general. But you know, you don't really know people, but he was very welcoming, good conversation. We had a lot of fun with him. But cursing every other sentence, you feel me? Like, this man was, I wouldn't say he was a Christian at all. The things he was saying, the things he was talking about, I don't think so. But he could be, but I don't think so. But at the same time, it's funny how even he knows, like, there's something about a woman who's not in that place that we were at on a Sunday night, and a woman that goes to church. That goes to show you that men look for women who have respect for themselves, women who have standards for themselves, women who have morals. And for him, those kind of women are women who would be at church. Because church, I'm not saying there can't be somewhere else, but church does represent something. Church does represent a standard and moral in your life. And I know everybody who goes to church don't have that. I know there's certain things that happen at church that sometimes be worse than what happens in the streets. We understand that, but I'm just saying for him, what it represents for him. And I'm guarantee you there's many men who do think like that, because this is the second time within the span of, I would say, 2.5 months that I went out. And I'm not even the type, I'm not even the type to go out all the time. Like I told you, I spend months, probably 6 months home every weekend, not going out. But I just started to go out recently, and in the span of like 2.5 months, 2 men who showed me that who reminded me, because I've met many other men like that. I have a brother, I have brothers, I've been around male friends and his friends for all my life. Really, I've been around men all my life, but these 2 reminded me in the past 2.5 months how men really think. So ladies, we just really have to be careful for what we're putting out to the world. If you don't care, you never want to get married, then disregard what I'm saying. If you never gonna think about starting your own business and having to market yourself and having to show up and what is that, collaborate with other people, and you're never gonna have to worry about your reputation when you get older, you don't care about what your kids think about you, what people you meet think about you, then this is not for you. But this is definitely for those who want to do better and be better. I told you guys, just off the strength of me showing that self-control, those morals at that party, and just off that self-control, that standard I have for myself, it was so many men who didn't have that standard that wanted to talk to me. And that just goes to show you that no matter where a man is at in his life, he's looking for a woman who carries her standard. And that's why you should never, ever compromise your standards for anybody or anything. My standards are rooted in God. So at the end of the day, as I said, I want to please God. So every time I'm met with something that some type of temptation that makes me think about my standards and compromising, I'm saying no, because I'm not going to choose that over God. So that's why I'm firmly rooted, and I'm able to be so strong and so fierce in my standards. So I'm hoping that you'll find the same for you. And that's all I want to share. Please don't beat me up. I know this was a longer video, but I had to share this, okay? Go out, have fun, live your life, but make sure you have respect for yourself. Make sure you're showing that you have respect for yourself, that you honor who you are, that you are valuable, You are a treasure. So everybody doesn't deserve to see every part of you. Everybody doesn't deserve to experience you in different ways. Everybody doesn't, you don't deserve to do that to yourself, where you would show up in the world so drunk that you have no control of yourself and you're putting yourself in harm's way. Like, we can do better. You can do better. I'm not putting myself in a position where, oh, I feel like I'm better, I'm looking down on anybody. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just getting the message out here. I indulge in that behavior. That was me, but it's not me anymore at all. So I can look back and let y'all know, like, that's not it. It's not it at all. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Love you. Have a good day.